Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BikeSocial. I'm Michael Mann. Also, welcome to Hinckley. We're back again at Triumph. It's another bike from the British manufacturer, and here is Miles Perkins. Miles, thank you for having us.
More than welcome, Michael. Nice to see you.
You too, sir. Miles is the head of brand management for Triumph, and he's going to be talking all about these pair. So this is the new Triumph Tiger Sport 660, new for 2022. Miles, excellent, good stuff. So we've got two bikes here. Tell us a little bit about this. So it's the Triumph, it's the Tiger Sport 660.
That's right, that's right. So these are two of the three colours that you can get, Carrossery Red and the Lucerne Blue. This has got the accessories on, and that's the bike as it comes, standard setup. And these are middleweight adventure sports motorcycles, and this is a new category, a new entry for us, much like our Trident was at the beginning of last year.
So the bike's very much based on the Trident, yeah?
Well, it's very similar. They share a lot of aspects of the platform, but actually they were developed together. Okay. So it's not an adapted Trident. Moreover, it's got pretty much the same advantages and benefits into its category. The Trident was or is a roadster, so whereas this is more of an adventure sports middleweight. So similar categories, they overlap a little bit, but they've got different competitors, and I think the riders are looking for slightly different things on them.
Are the engine components and the gearbox and the racers and things like that, are they all the same across the Trident and the...
Yes, the engine is the same. They both put out 81 PS, 64 newton meters, and on this bike, that's class leading in the category by a significant margin. They're both triples. So the engine is the same, but from there on in, there are differences, key differences, certainly in regards to the ride, the geometry, and the subtle setup in regards to making this more versatile, more of an all-rounder.
So you say it's a bit of a new category for you. There's already some big competitors there already, I'd say, from Yamaha and from Kawasaki, particularly, both twins. But this is a triple, isn't it? So it's going to give the customer the opportunity for a much sort of different type of engine and type of character from the bike, isn't it?
Absolutely. So when we were looking at entering this category, or basically making a bike for the riders who would be looking at those competitors, what we could certainly see is, just like the Trident, being a triple against twins, you do have comparative sort of torque at the low down, but in the mid-range, and also as you get to the top end, the triple gives more. Typically against a twin. So, and that's more in terms of performance, but also, of course, the character, the nature of the sound of the bike, and how it delivers its power. And I think with the Trident, that is one of the things I think that's made that so successful. It's been quite a successful bike, and what we're hoping to see is the same level of appreciation going head to head with twins, with a triple in this category, should, I think, deliver the advantages that riders, are very keen to get when they buy a new bike.
Should we talk about the price? Because I think that's going to be one of the keys, isn't it, for entering this market or for attracting the customers. You say this is the completely standard model. What can we expect a price tag to look like for this?
So the base price is £8,450. That's actually for the blue or the black graphite model. This is the Carrossery Red with the sportier graphics. That's another £100. Now, in this category, head-to-head with the bikes that you've mentioned, I would say that's pretty competitive, not just because you get more power, but the specification's higher, and also the cost of ownership, just like the Trident again, is lower. So you have a lower workshop time, lower cost for the maintenance parts, and higher level of service intervals as well at 10,000 miles, 16,000 kilometres. So I think the level of spec, the higher level technology, lower level cost of ownership, and the greater level of power, I think makes that price pretty competitive.
Very good. Yeah, you do seem to get a lot of bang for your buck. And it seems to be the kind of bike that it's a bike for all, I was going to say seasons, but perhaps even reasons, such as its versatility. You've got a lot of the accessories on this bike here. I'm seeing handguards, I'm seeing panniers and a top box there. What else have you got on this one?
So, yep, you're right. You've got hand guards. You've got the panniers and the top box. That's a twin helmet. You can put a helmet in each one of those. So, big luggage capacity.
Yes.
There's a rear rack. There's also a roll bag, and you can get waterproof liners for all these things. What's also on this bike here is you've got the additional lighting with the spots. You can have the scroll indicators. The instruments are on the base bike class leading, so they're TFTs, whereas you get standard instruments or LCD on the competitors. But with the TFT instruments, you can add the MyTriumph connectivity system as well as an accessory, and that gives you turn-by-turn navigation. It gives you the GoPro control, music operation, phone operation, and you can add heated grips as well, which this bike's got featured on it, and then lots of other touches and details, so engine protectors, alarm, locks, covers, cleaning kits, you name it.
Wouldn't be a Triumph without lots of accessories.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
that's
40 available actually on this. Yeah.
All right, so let's just talk about the spec a little more. You've given us price, you've given us power. What about availability, first of all? When can we expect it in shops?
So in the UK, these should be coming into dealers in February. They're on sale now, so in terms of deposits and test rides, talk to your dealers now. Get down if you want to get on one and give it a comparison ride, which obviously would be a good starting point. In terms of the specification, shall I run you through the?
Yes, go for it, yeah.
Okay, so as I said, technology-wise, you've got the TFTs. You've also got 2 riding modes, road and rain. And those have got throttle maps as well as traction control settings.
Okay.
You can adjust the traction control independently as well, so they're switchable. And then other standard fit technology that you expect, so ABS, ride-by-wire throttle, etc. And LED lighting all around the bike. With the riding modes and the switchable traction control, those are, again, I don't say class leading, keep banging on about class leading, but they are features that you can't get on the main 2 competitors that this bike has got. Kit-wise, a very high standard of branded specifications, so you've got Showa upside-down forks. So you've got a rear Showa monoshock as well, which is got preload adjustment on there, and you've got the adjustment here. You've also got twin 310mm discs, and then in terms of the overall riding geometry, there's quite a few key differences between this and the Trident, and all of those are about focused on giving it more of an all-round riding capability. So people who buy these bikes are looking for an all-rounder that can do touring, hence the luggage setup, commuting, city riding. So your ergonomics and your riding position's a bit more upright. And then final key spec feature, of course, is you've got the one-hand adjust screen, which you can...
Shall I demonstrate? Oh, straight up, straight down. Very easy.
Very good.
Good, and everything's controllable off of the handlebars. You've got up, down,
right.
left, right, and mode buttons and a tick button. So that's all connected into the screen.
That's right, and the screen is a TFT screen.
Yep.
Nice and clear, like the Trident, but also, so you've got a portion of that's an LCD, but you've also got the TFT setup in there.
Very smart. I don't think the front suspension's adjustable, is it? No, just the rear. And the seat's so narrow, it seems like a real narrow bike for considering the kind of weight that it can carry. Have you got sort of literage for the panniers and the top box?
The literage for the 2 panniers together is 57 litres and the top box is 47. And as I said, you can get crash helmets in all of them.
That's a cracking little Tourer then as well. So you've got the sort of sporty and then you've got the Tourer as well. Any reason why things like a centre stand perhaps were not considered, or heated grips as standard, or cruise control on a Tourer? All
of the features that are on here are there in reflection of conversations with customers through focus groups, talking to people who've bought the competitor bikes, people who are looking to buy a bike like this. And we go through an evaluation of what people want versus the price. And that generally ends up with an equation where you not only understand where the value sits for someone, but also what they would aspire to as an accessory. And generally speaking, in the middleweight category, the things that people wanted that they weren't getting was a high level of technology, so the riding modes and the TFTs, and also the branded equipment and the high specification of equipment. So having said that, we're always listening, so never say never in regards to what things develop, but for the time being, the heated grips that you can buy as an accessory and the features that the bike have got were sort of top of the list.
I often say to people if they make a point about why aren't heated grips an option, or sorry, why aren't heated grips there as standard, and you kind of got to consider the global market, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's only us Brits who suffer in the cold and want heated grips as standard, but these will sell globally, won't they?
Yeah, it's again, it's an equation. If it was more sporty, it wouldn't sit alongside the what this customer's looking for. So we've got different bikes doing different jobs. This is a new category for Triumph, just as the Trident was, and just get into the sort of the nub of what people wanted and what they use their bikes for. Gives you a very clear picture as to what's the consistent thing around the world. You're quite right. This is quite a big category in Asia and other parts of Europe. And if you're in southern Spain, heated grips, even in European countries, heated grips are not necessarily top of the list. What's key though is to get the absolute fundamentals there, and then, in our case, enter with something that's better. So the higher specification, but fit that to the things that people are wanting most, should we say. Now,
for those of you at home, I am 6 foot tall with quite long legs, and that's easy for me to flat foot. Do you know what the seat height is, Miles?
It's 835 mil high, but you can get an accessory low seat, which takes another 25 mil off.
Okay.
The flat-footedness, I think, for me, the width of the tank into the seat is quite a key part of this bike, as it was with the Trident as well, in regards to what, so low speed riding as well as standing on the bike, you're looking for that manoeuvrability. A difference with the Trident is you've got more leg room on this bike, so 35 mil more in regards to the ergonomics, so you're sat upright a little bit more, but in terms of the foot to seat position, there's a little bit more there, and obviously the seat is wider, and there's more substance in a development of the rear subframe and the swing arm to give that better pillion riding capability, and also obviously luggage carrying as well.
I must say it's very comfortable, isn't it? You've ridden one already?
I have. I've rode this against the competitors, and I mean, obviously I'm wearing a Triumph badge on my shirt, so you probably take a pinch of salt from anyone who works for a company talking about the products, but I've ridden my whole life, and the comparison difference between this and its competitors, I'd say, is more pronounced than almost any of our bikes.
There seems to be plenty of space in terms of length and width on the pillion seat. It'd be interesting to see what a pillion makes of
you also have, of course,
that seat.
The grab handles as well, which when I was pillioning was always a very key feature, something to get your hands on.
And there's so many pillions who love a top box as well, especially with that pad on there.
And one with a pad to get your back onto.
Nice to feel nice and secure. So Mars, in terms of other rider benefits or rider comfort over longer distances, did we talk about fuel tank and range already?
No, I don't think so. So this has got a 17-litre tank, which is bigger than on the Trident, and on the average fuel cycle, depends how you ride, of course, you can get 230 miles, 380 kilometres out of a full tank, which is, I think, really good, particularly if you're on a tour, or if you're taking a weekend away. Stop you stopping too often. Just
sitting here now, it's always nice to have a span adjustable brake lever as well, which is quite convenient. What about gear shift? What about a quick shifter? Is that standard?
There is it's not standard, but you can get an accessory shift assist, Triumph shift assist. So that's up and down, and down to low speeds as well. And I think they work really well.
Yeah, lovely job. We've got 3 colours. We've got 8,450 as the base price, 100 extra pounds for the Carrossi Red with the nice graphics. Available beginning of next year.
February time.
Miles, it wasn't that long ago when we were stood virtually in the same room talking about the Tiger 850 Sport. Do you see this as a replacement to that model?
No, certainly not. So what Triumph have been doing, or what the team have been doing over the last few years, is looking as to what categories, markets and customers can we introduce a Triumph into. And the Trident and the Tiger Sport 660 are basically opening up Triumph to a little bit more of that sort of mainstream middleweight world, which isn't, in the UK, that's more of a sort of a first big bike, but around the world, that's actually quite a large capacity motorcycle for some parts of the world. So these are targeted at that, and they have their own competitors, which you've already mentioned. With the Tiger Sport 850, that sits much closer to the Tiger 900. That's, as I said, a more economical a little less features, a little less power, more economical price. And the reason that exists is from listening to customers and looking at who's buying that bike and how Triumph, I think, are quite an agile firm in terms of being able to sort of say, okay, well, there's quite a big audience that would like a Tiger 9, but want one that's got these characteristics. So that was developed for that type of customer. And I think this, although there are overlaps, this is for a different customer. I mean, most bikers would possibly like to have lots of different bikes. So there's lots of overlaps, but I think they fundamentally sit in different places. But with these, as I said, this is following our plan over the next few years to enter new categories with Triumphs and to bring the fantastic Triumph bike to new people and bring new people to Triumph. So we've made a recent announcement that we're going to be launching motocross and enduro competition motorcycles, which are incredibly exciting. Yes. But also we've got just as an exciting partnership with Bajaj, one of the world's biggest motorcycle manufacturers in India, and that partnership where we're designing smaller capacity than these, you're just going to be able to see a full range of being able to start your big bike riding life on a Triumph and then go all the way through up the capacities.
So of course these are A2 license friendly, aren't they, as well? Which,
yes,
which also helps.
Yeah, these are exactly that, A2 license, and you can you make them so by fitting an accessory kit, but then when you've passed your test, take the kit off and you've got full power again.
Well, I can't wait to ride one, Mars. I think it looked fantastic. And I know what your answer to this question is, so I'll answer it myself. But I think it would make for a very good, potentially a Tiger 660 with longer travel suspension and 21-inch front. Shh, don't tell him. Good. Thank you very much for your time, Mars. Any questions, any queries, any comments, any thoughts, put them in the section below. Hopefully, if we've got any questions I can't answer, Mars might be able to. But thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.